Hello students, welcome to Bridge Academy Grade 9 Biology Unit 3 Tutorials Lesson 16, Observing Cells Under a Microscope Introduction. A microscope is a tool used to look at very small objects, like cells. Cells are the tiny building blocks of all living things. We cannot see them with our eyes alone because they are too small. A microscope makes these small things look bigger. This happens because the lens in the microscope bends light toward the eye, making the object appear larger than it really is. This is called magnification. By using a microscope, we can study both plant cells and animal cells. In this lesson, we will learn how to prepare and observe two types of cells, the onion epidermal cell, a plant cell, and the cheek cell, an animal cell. We will also learn how to identify and describe the structure and function of different parts of the cell, including the cell wall, cell membrane, and nucleus, preparing the specimen. To observe cells under the microscope, we first need to prepare a slide. This is called mounting a specimen. For plant cells, we use the thin layer of skin from the inside of an onion. This is called the onion epidermal cell. For animal cells, we can use a small sample from the inside of the cheek. This is called the cheek cell. To mount the specimen, we follow these steps. 1. Place the cell sample on a clean glass slide. 2. Add a drop of water to keep the sample moist. 3. Carefully place a thin cover slip over the sample. 4. Place the slide under the microscope. Now the cell is ready to be observed. When we look at the structure of cells under the microscope, we can see different parts. These include 1. Cell wall. 2. Cell membrane. 3. Nucleus. Observing an onion cell, plant cell in the onion epidermal cell, we can see a cell wall on the outside. Inside the cell wall, we may notice the thin cell membrane. The space inside the cell is filled with cytoplasm, but this may not be very clear under the microscope. The nucleus appears as a dark, round spot, usually found at one side of the cell. This is because the vacuole in plant cells is large and pushes the nucleus to the side. Observing a cheek cell, animal cell in the cheek cell, there is no cell wall. We see only the cell membrane on the outside. The cytoplasm fills the inside of the cell, and the nucleus can be seen near the center. The shape of the animal cell is more rounded, and the nucleus is clearly seen in the middle. Functions of cell parts. Each part of the cell has a special job to do. These parts help the cell to stay alive and do its work. 1. Cell wall. Cell wall is found in plant cells. The cell wall is a thick and strong layer that gives the cell its shape. It supports and protects the plant cell. It also helps the plant stay upright. 2. Cell membrane. The cell membrane is found both in plants and animal cells. The cell membrane is a thin layer that surrounds the cell. It controls what goes in and out of the cell. It allows water and nutrients to enter and lets waste leave the cell. 3. Cytoplasm. The cytoplasm is found both in plants and animal cells. Though not always clearly visible, the cytoplasm is a jelly-like substance inside the cell. It holds all the other cell parts in place. Many cell activities happen in the cytoplasm. 4. Nucleus. The nucleus is found both in plants and animal cells. The nucleus controls the cell. It is like the brain of the cell. It tells the cell what to do and holds the cell's instructions called DNA. In plant cells, the nucleus is often pushed to one side, while in animal cells, it is usually in the center. Summary. In this lesson, we learned how to observe cells using a microscope. We studied both plant cells and animal cells. To do this, we prepared slides using onion skin for plant cells and cheek cells for animal cells. By mounting the cells properly, we were able to observe key parts of the cell. We identified the cell wall, cell membrane, and nucleus in both types of cells. We also noticed that the nucleus is found at one side of the plant's cell because of the large vacuole. In animal cells, the nucleus is found in the center. Each part of the cell has a special job. The cell wall gives shape and protection. The cell membrane controls movement of substances. The cytoplasm holds cell parts, and the nucleus controls all cell activities. Using the microscope helps us see how cells are made and how they work. This is the first step in understanding how all living things grow, move, and stay alive. Review questions and answers. Question 1. What is the function of a microscope? Answer. A microscope is used to observe very small objects, like cells, by making them appear larger through magnification. Question 2. Which cells are used to study plant and animal cells in this lesson? Answer. Onion epidermal cells are used to study plant cells, and cheek cells are used to study animal cells. Question 3. What are the three main cell parts you can see under a light microscope? Answer. The three main parts are the cell wall, cell membrane, and nucleus. Question 4. Where is the nucleus found in a plant cell and why? Answer. In a plant cell, the nucleus is found at one side of the cell because the large vacuole pushes it there. Question 5. What is the function of the cell membrane? Answer. The cell membrane controls what enters and leaves the cell. It protects the cell and helps it stay healthy. Like, share, and subscribe for videos.